Now, away from that to another top story of the day, top officials of the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission are appearing before the National Assembly's Public Accounts Committee to answer questions related to the alleged irregular acquisition of Integrity Center by the anti-graft body of 1.5 billion shillings. Now, MPs had summoned the EACC Chief Executive Officer Twalib Mbarak as they seek to unearth the puzzle of a building bought at 400 million shillings in 2013, but sold to the agency for 1.5 billion shillings in 2017. Let's cross over to Parliament and listen in.
Now, let's get forward again back before Honorable Makau comes in. When I see you, you recall indicating that there was a committee which was formed internally to look at these properties. Okay?
Yes, Chair.
Could we get the order? Could we get the list of officers who are in this committee? That is one. Two. Is there a reason why the commission, the EACC, that is, even if NLC was the entity acquiring this property on your behalf, is there a specific reason why the EACC did not insist on getting the architectural design of this property before even transferring monies for its purchase to the NLC? 3. You've also said that it's the NLC that did the evaluation upon advice for compulsory acquisition of the property. Is there any law or regulation or condition that stopped the EACC from seeking a second or third opinion from the Ministry of Lands independently? And bearing in mind that this is a property that the public was going to pay for at a cost of 1.5 billion shillings, whereas it had been purchased earlier by the private owners 3 years earlier at a cost of only 100 million shillings. If you could address those 3 issues very quickly. Yes.
If the Commissioner can just tell us or show us any proof that they have ever attempted to get the plans to date, and if not, why?
Quickly.
Quick one. Chair, the list of officers for evaluation will give you. And on architectural design,
yes.
I've been checking with the Director of Administration. He keeps on giving me a religious hope, saying they're coming.
Who is that?
That the promise that they're going to deliver.
Checking with who?
Administration.
Where is he?
He has been pursuing it. And we have letters to the National Lands Commission requesting for those architectural drawings to be brought to us.
Dated when?
27 February 2019, latest.
Yeah, you see the point now. Why are you pursuing these designs way after you have already purchased the building? Of what use are they now?
Yeah.
Don't you think in your mind, when Commissioner Gachoka, because you are very eloquent, don't you think it was the relation of duty on the part of officers at the EACC who oversaw this process to have accepted that this building be purchased using taxpayers' money without insisting on getting the designs beforehand?
No.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. And the reason you find that many of these questions are coming to me and I'm answering, one is because I'm the one who chaired that committee. And 2, the question you have raised is valid. In the correspondence that we are going to forward to you, you realize that the issue of the drawings in our letters to the National Land Commission, it was one of the issues that we said that in addition to the title documents, we also should be given the structural drawings for the building. So it is not an issue that has been raised in 2019. It is an issue that was raised right from the word go. And you see it even in the...
What I'm asking, Commissioner Gachoka, why did you go ahead to authorize procurement of this without first getting access to the designs. What were you buying, if I may ask you?
Could you be buying condemned property?
What are you buying? Could there also allegations that the property is sitting on a waterway?
Even on a road reserve?
Yes. You lose him.
Or it's part of Undungu land court?
We're waiting for that answer. Do you admit that this was the violation of duty?
I do not.
Or that, yes.
Through the chair.
Yes.
And I say it because, very serious questions have been raised. And which questions actually, if we knew they are the questions that were, and it's good raised to have primary questions. So we note those questions, the documents that read in that report, you'll find that some of these questions that the honorable members are raising, which are pertinent questions, are things that were addressed by the commission and will be in our documents. Because the issue of the structural drawings was actually raised. And it is raised with the National Land Commission. I think from the record you see.
What was the response? If it was raised at the material time, what was the response? Because it's a fundamental issue, really. Even me, as a common citizen, I cannot buy property without ascertaining what it is I'm buying, really. So how would a commission, EACC, for that reason, for that matter,
Yes,
commit public funds? Yeah.
Commissioner, you're a very senior lawyer in this country before you become a commissioner. How do you buy a property that you are not sure of its soundness of its structure, whether it's on a road reserve, whether it is on a water catchment area, whether it is on Ndungu land report? You don't have even drawings of the property you are buying. You don't know whether it was built properly by the previous developer. How did you buy that?
Let me answer this question by saying this.
Yes.
That as a commissioner, and remember, this thing you have to look at our report, and it's important here that you look at our report. That the issues that the honorable members are raising are the issues that we as commissioners had raised. And it is the issue, and you realize that this process of acquisition had gone on for years. In our report.
Or you raised as a commission?
Even in the issue of the drawings, we have requested for the drawings.
So you are at a commission, you are those issues.
And remember, yes, I'm a procurement specialist, by the way. I chaired the public procurement abuse board. If this thing was going, it was not through, the normal procurement process. And that is why you realize that when it comes to the national compulsory acquisition, it is different from acquisition.
You're right.
If this was an open tender, the issues that we are raising, I would have raised it. And
so will I be in order
and
to
because,
say that
yes, let me finish.
property required contrary to your reservation?
No.
I mean, in spite of your reservation?
No.
Yeah.
And that is why, I'm saying, as part of the documents that we require, because this is one of the documents, we have said, you realize that from the report, we have not paid the full amount.
How much?
25 million.
Out of how much? Well, 1.5 billion,
Yes.
my friend.
Yeah, I'm just saying. So it is not an issue that we ignored.
I want to give Honorable Makau a chance, but then after he's finished, I'm suggesting we shall adjourn for lunch and then come back at 2:30.
Chairman, with authority, I want to inform the CEO of EACC that you cannot get evaluation without structural and architectural designs. Number two, I want to know why the appetite by NLC to value the Integrity Center.
Top officials of the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission there before the National Assembly's Public Account Committee, including, of course, the CEO, Twalib Mubarak, just answering to those queries about the related irregular acquisition of Integrity Center by the anti-graft body for 1.5 billion shillings. This is a building that is estimated to have been bought for 400 million shillings in 2013, but sold the agency for 1.5 billion shillings in 2017. This is a story that we're following up on.